You're good? Good.
Okay, so at this time, I would open the meeting, the board meeting this evening, and we will begin with a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you, everybody, for being with us this evening. And at this point, we do have a presentation. Kevin is going to present on behalf of the Ainsworth Memorial Library Board of Trustees regarding a voter proposal. So I would turn it over to you, Kevin.
Thank you, John. I'm actually here tonight on behalf of the Annie Porter Ainsworth Memorial Library and the Cogsworth Memorial Library in Orwell. Tonight we are presenting our initiative for the ballot in May. It is to increase the funding that we get through the school district tax, the library district tax, an additional $55,000, of which $50,000 is for the Annie P. Ainsworth Memorial Library and $5,000 is for the Cogsworth Memorial Library. With the success of this initiative, this will transfer the remainder of our funding from the individual town budgets to the library district tax. So we will be fully funded through the library district, and the increase in the budget is almost all directly related to the increase in employee costs that we've had since the COVID-19 epidemic. We've had to hire additional staff in order to ensure the safety of our staff and our patrons. So that's all I have to say, short and brief. Are there any questions? Can I answer any questions?
Any questions for Kevin? Okay, thank you very much, Kevin.
All right, thank you for your time. I appreciate it very much.
Yes, not a problem.
Have a good night.
Thanks,
You
Kevin.
too.
All right, bye.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you. You as well.
All right, the next item on our agenda is public comment. Of course, with the virtual format, we don't have the opportunity or to provide for public comment. So at this point, we'll move on to item 5. Item 5 is actually if we required any executive session on the front end. There will be another executive session opportunity at the end. But I believe there's no need for executive session on this end. Is that correct with the board members? Okay. Item 6 is consent agenda changes, and I believe there are none. Is that correct, Kyle?
That is correct.
Okay. We will then move into item 7, which is our consent agenda. Approval of the minutes, approval of CSD recommendations, approval of financial reports, approval of positions, authorizations, and abolishments, of which there are none this evening. Approval of position resignations and terminations. And we have a few of those. Being items under item 7.5. So at this point, I would take a motion to get item 7 on the table.
I'll move.
Mark moves.
I'll second, John.
Michelle seconds. Any questions or comments regarding any of those items? Okay, all those in favor? And we will take a roll call on that portion of it. I would say aye. Brian is not with us. Mark?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Heidi?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
And Michelle?
Aye.
Okay, I have to back step for just one moment. We also had item 7.6, which was the approval of leaves of absence. There were none. Approval of appointments, and there are basically our winter coaches. And so at this point, I will actually need another motion on those. 7.7 is what I'm going to need a motion on.
I'll move, John.
Mark moves.
I'll
Was that
second.
Joe?
Joe.
Joe moves. Andrea seconds.
Right.
Okay. Any questions or comments on those? All those in favor? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. Now we'll move ahead to item 8, which is reports. And we have the Oswego County BOCES Board of Education being the first one. I believe in your package, you received a report that I produce each month regarding what's going on at BOCES and also the Oswego County School Boards Association, Central New York School Boards. This actually is a composite of our last 2 meetings. Our last City BOCES meeting was last night, and we had one previous being January 20th since our last meeting at Sandy Creek. The last BOCES meeting, both of these were virtual in format. We again continue to review our budget development process. Along our administrators and capital budgets actually remain unchanged from the last time I reported to you. The administrative budget stands at 1.46%. And at this point, we continue to keep looking at our program budgets with the goal of creating minimal fiscal impact to the districts while maintaining a solid educational program. We are preparing for our annual meeting on April 14th. And as of last night, there was some discussion regarding this. There was the potential that this would be an in-person meeting. It will not be. There just is not time to execute all the planning necessary and to bring people together in that room. That would put too many people in there, and that would be in violation of the state mandates, and it would not be a safe environment. So this will be a virtual event on April 14th. Barring any major turnarounds, but at this point, it looks like it's very much going to be a virtual event. That event is scheduled for 6:45 p.m. on the 14th, and that will immediately follow our BOCES brief April regular board meeting. The meeting is going to provide a look at their proposed 21-22 capital administrative budgets, along with our overall spending plan. And each year at this time, Chris Todd and Mike Shepard avail themselves of the districts. They're willing to come out and speak at board meetings, and they would be willing to come to our board meeting virtually to present their spending plan, our spending plan, and answer any questions that anyone might have. We will be authorizing the establishment. Well, actually, last night, we authorized the establishment of the Zachary John Devendorf Memorial Scholarship. The scholarship was intended for New Visions law and government students to improve college opportunities in pursuit of a career in criminal justice or pre-law. Unfortunately, Zachary passed away at the age of 13 as a result of a brain tumor. His father, Timothy, is with the Oswego County Sheriff's Department. He's worked with the Phoenix and Fulton Village Police Departments and was Officer of the Year in 2003. Members of the community are welcome to donate to this scholarship fund also, should they wish to. Item 3 that I have is the Oswego County School Boards Association report. And on February 4th, Oswego County School Boards joined with Central New York School Boards to provide for a dialogue between state legislators, Assemblyman Barclay and Senator Ritchie. And then on Saturday, the 6th, we had a second session with Rick Timms, who is with the statewide School Finance Consortium. Both presentations were virtual, and the legislators both spoke of the fiscal difficulties in the coming years. They acknowledged the preliminary budget runs are nothing like they have seen before, and that they are very complex, very confusing, and take an extremely long time to attempt to digest. Both the legislators and Dr. Timms feel that this is a direct intent to hide something and that it will take some time to sort all this out. One thing which Dr. Timms pointed out and the legislators alluded to was that while federal stimulus aid to the states was for 2 years to get things going and assist the states. New York State elected to roll this all into the current year's aid package, which, alleviated the immediate crisis. However, it kicked the can down the road, and in the following year, things could get even worse unless the feds come in and somehow rescue this thing, and that's not likely because they feel they've given 2 years worth of aid to the states, and the pass through was to lump that into 1 year. So effectively, the can gets kicked down the road, and there is great fear among the legislators and Dr. Timms that there may be down the road another opportunity for us to get into the gap elimination game, where the state attempts to close their budget gap by taking money that should be allotted to education. And that happened in the past. It's not pretty. Could happen again. Good chance of it. Central New York School Boards Association, the Central New York School. Let me say one thing more that we learned from this legislative thing. Just a couple things. One of them is that this coming year, when someone runs for the Board of Education, the feeling is that this year those individuals will have to, in fact, go out and obtain their 25 signatures. This won't be an opportunity. They are going to require that versus last year. That was kind of an abbreviated process because of COVID-19 and the concern over contact. But everything I'm hearing is that this year there'd be a requirement to hit the pavement with the petitions and get the 25 signatures. In addition, one thing that they said was they expect there will be from the state an opportunity for a live vote instead of the absentee ballot situation, and that if someone makes a claim of concerns over the COVID situation, that they would be entitled almost automatically to an absentee ballot. But there is a presumption that this will be a live vote. The Central New York School Boards Association, they're having similar legislative forums to what we went through this past week with the legislators and Dr. Timms. And Central New York comprises 5 school board associations. We're one of those. The other 4 will be having their own legislative sessions within their regions where they have an opportunity to appeal to their legislators. On February 25th, the Central New York School Boards Association is offering a board roundtable featuring a conversation with Lester Young, the new chancellor for the New York State Board of Regents. And the event will be from 6 to 7 p.m. You can access it through the Central New York School Boards Association site. I believe there is a requirement that you RSVP by the 24th if you intend to participate in this. The focus will be on state and federal budget opportunities, challenges, and inequity in education, among other topics. Central New York School Boards Association continues to offer its series, You Do What for a Living, and they're always seeking out new career opportunities to showcase and new people involved in those careers to be interviewed and to present their programs. It's an excellent opportunity for our kids to get exposed to the work environment, the career field which they may be choosing. Let me see. Just one other thing as far as the New York State School Boards Association convention. According to what we heard last night, it does appear that convention is going to be October 24th through the 26th. And at this point, they are going to make an attempt to make that a live convention. Unfortunately, it will be done in New York City. So I don't know. I probably won't go. So at any rate, that's what I've got from BOCES, Central New York, and Oswego County School Boards Association, a little bit from state school boards. Anyone have any questions? Shelley, is what I presented here regarding kicking the can down the road and the votes, is that what you're hearing also?
Absolutely. It took our association and all my colleagues days to determine what everything meant. And the other part about it is the amount of aid that he put in there. We
Mhm.
got a notification the other day that SED will not tell us exactly what our allocations are until after the state budget is passed.
Okay.
So imagine my delight. How am I supposed to plan a budget around that? Will the state budget be passed in April? Will it be passed in August?
Yeah.
Can you imagine running a business that way?
No, not at all.
Possible. That's basically what we're tasked with.
Okay. That is the report which I have. And do we have any of the principals available, Kyle?
We do not. I gave them the night off.
Okay. All right, we'll move ahead to superintendent's report.
So I have a couple of things. Wanted to give you a quick update on the capital project progress. Actually coming along very well over the last several weeks since we last met. In terms of what we're doing in the building, J&A Mechanical has replaced 9 unit ventilators, which is basically the heater in each classroom. Right now, they're averaging about 2 a night, Monday through Thursday, and they do 1 on Friday. And the other thing they do on Friday is get ready for the following Monday, restock and be prepared for what's coming the next week. Hopefully, we're shooting for the elementary being done by around March 5th. Keep in mind that with all of this work that goes on with these things, you're talking about 4 different vendors having to work together and cooperate, which is a challenge at times, as you can imagine. Watchdog, as our folks that are on the ground, Fred Langworthy does a really good job keeping these vendors working well together. And you know how Andy is, he's right there with them the entire time. So we're on top of things, and those guys are doing what they need to do to keep everything moving along. We're pretty pleased after kind of a slow start. So it's going well. Weidman Electric is installing the new fire alarm system in the elementary. It should be live by the end of the week, which is great. As you know, those of you that were on the board when we started this whole thing, our fire alarm system is very old, decrepit basically, and in desperate need of exactly what we're doing. So this is awesome news. So it'll be live at the end of the week in the elementary, and it works hand in hand with what's in place with the current system and the rest of the building. So, you know, that we will keep working on the rest of the building as we move forward. So that's good news. Bus maintenance facility, we could not be happier. I was very happy to be wrong. And so was Andy. We thought it was a mistake to try to do what they were doing. You remember me saying that several months ago, as far as laying these blocks during the winter months, but it's gone really well. They've, tarped everything off and heated everything. It's been way better than what we expected. They had the one issue with the COVID outbreak out there where they had to shut down for a week or so, but they've gotten past that. The exterior walls are pretty much up on the new bus maintenance facility, which is incredible. The interior walls are now in the progress of being completed. We have a target of mid-March to start the steel roof decking, which is great. And if things keep progressing the way they are and have been, we very well may have this thing for next year, which would be great for the district and something we didn't think was going to be able to happen that fast. So kudos to those guys that are out there doing what they're doing. And again, Watchdog with Todd Labar and Fred Langworthy, they do a fantastic job keeping everybody on pace with what we're looking for. new power lines and gas for that facility over there is being reviewed by National Grid. We're a go for that, and that should be installed by the spring. So things are going really well as far as the capital project. So I'm really happy to have some good news for a change, given everything else that we're dealing with. So I don't know if anybody has any questions on that.
Any questions for Kyle?
I got one more thing I wanted to mention, and that's just obviously what we dealt with today. We knew there was a really good possibility that what happened was going to happen. It's impossible to prepare for something like this. We, had the first dose last month, second dose, and God bless Connects Care. They've been awesome to work with, and we're not the only district in the county that they work with, as you know. And they've just been fantastic. Come right in the district and do right in the building and do what they needed to do. So yesterday was the second dose. Those of you that are keeping up on this, we have the Moderna vaccine within our district, and there are some serious side effects at times for certain people. It's individual. I had it. I didn't feel horrible. I probably wasn't 100%, but I'm old and fat and out of shape anyway, so I never am. But there were some people that were pretty down and out. And the unfortunate thing for us is we didn't really know until this morning who wasn't going to be able to make it in. And it's not just teachers, it's all of our employees who took advantage of that opportunity. So it was kind of a scramble starting at about 4:15 this morning and looking at the numbers and figuring as the calls kept coming in, and our system that tracks our substitutes for our teachers. We're looking at that constantly. So we made the decision a little bit after 5 that it was going to be too much for us to try to deal with. We did not have enough bodies. It's very simple. So I put the message out in the robocall because I thought it was important to be honest with folks, and as far as why we were doing what we were doing. I think much of the community, from what I understand, knew that this was a very possible, this was going to probably happen. So I just wanted to be honest with parents that that's exactly why we did what we did. You know how these things transpire. You get the social media, you've got blah, 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 blah. So it did go to the TVs and the newspapers and all that. So I've been dealing with that throughout the afternoon. And again, I've sent statements to them. I'm just saying exactly what happened. We simply just didn't have enough staff to staff the building and teach our kids. We're hopeful for tomorrow, but I don't know. We just don't know. We'll start early in the morning and evaluate who can come in and who can't, and whether or not we have enough bodies to cover, and we'll make the decision. But these days are no different than a snow day. They're no different than if we had a boiler out and couldn't heat the place, or whatever else. There's any number of reasons to have an emergency day. So we have those in place. Everybody was paid today. It's no different than a snow day. So hopefully we'll have some good news in the morning, but we'll have to wait and see, and we won't know until, just like this morning. So I don't know if you have any questions on that or not. I think it's a big deal with the media because it's COVID related. Everything COVID related is up front and center. So.
Any questions of Kyle? Okay. Item 9 is discussion items, of which I'm not aware of any. Do we have any discussion items this evening? And
Nope.
Item 10 would be communication. Again, I have no indication of any items under that one. Moving ahead to item 11.1, and this is the approval of a resolution regarding additions to the substitute list, the master substitute list for instructional staff and support staff. And I would take a motion to get that one on the table.
I'll move.
Andrea moves.
Second.
Mark seconds. Any questions or comments regarding item 11.1? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Brian is not here. Mark?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Heidi?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
And Michelle?
Aye.
Okay, that motion passes. Moving ahead to item 11.2, and this is the approval of a resolution to permanently appoint Randy Cole to a position as bus driver effective March 8th, 2021. And at this point, I would take a motion to get that on the table.
I'll move.
Mark moves.
I'll second. Michelle.
Michelle seconds. Any questions or comments regarding that? Take a vote on that. Aye. Brian again absent. Mark?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Heidi?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
And Michelle?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Moving ahead to item 11.3. And this is the revised school district instructional calendar, which you have in your packets. I would take a motion to get that on the table.
I'll move.
And that was Heidi moving. And second,
I'll second.
Andrea seconds. Questions or comments regarding the new instructional calendar?
I'll just throw it in there. All we did, we wanted to give, as you know, with the changes we're making moving forward with the schedule for the students, we moved a half day from April to February 25th to give the teachers another half day to plan for the changes that are coming. It's just something we wanted to do to give them just a little bit more opportunity to plan for that.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Take a vote on that item. Aye. Brian again absent. Mark?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Heidi?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
And Michelle?
Aye.
Motion also passes. Item 12 is the as far as item 12, we do have need for an executive session for the purposes of personnel. And if I could have a motion to go into executive session.
I'll move.
Andrea moves.
I'll second.
Michelle seconds. Okay. Aye. Brian again not here. Mark?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Heidi?
Aye.
Andrea?
Aye.
And Michelle?
Aye.
Okay. We are now in executive session, and we will, at this point, get the live stream stopped. Now, I would say there anticipated beyond this point other than adjournment of the meeting. So for
Correct.
those individuals who are live streaming this, there will be no further board action. So at this point, we are in executive session, and